May the stories that we play with, that we speak to, that we hear, be useful. Be useful in terms of feeling that throughout the whole of our being we can actually embody this story in a way that lifts our consciousness and lifts the light and lifts the love into a more full expression of itself. So, at what we call the shadow level, the stress is a fragmentation, a separation, an agitation of energy, of consciousness, of identification, which is telling a story which is basically going in that direction of entropy, of loss of energy. And this is where the word restraint is so beautiful to describe, well, what happens when you remember that there's more to this than meets the eye. How do you spell that, by the way? Right? There's more to this than meets the eye, and instead of losing and having that energy be scattered and separated and fragmented, the gift of restraint is holding this back. So it's like there's no more hole in the bucket. You're exercising restraint, so you're bringing your consciousness back to the present moment. Here, it's always here, which is really good news. It's the present, the gift of the present moment. And in the present moment, it's more than just the surface appearance of how things are now. It's the actual inner experience that this present moment is the door to. And this inner experience is a vertical axis of being. From the very top of the head all the way down the spine, the central column of being, the pillar of consciousness, to the soles of the feet. And beyond these, we can stretch and feel that, yes, indeed, we are connecting heaven and earth. This is what the human being does, can do. And in the heart, what happens in the heart is that we meet the horizontal axis through which we can also extend our consciousness. The axis is the consciousness, the consciousness is everywhere. And so consciousness loves geometry, and we can extend this horizontally and feel the infinite presence here. So restraint allows us to bring our energy that was scattered outside of us, of our truth, into the identifications of the artifacts of our consciousness, of what we created or what we accepted as being real. The name, rank, serial number, all of the different identifications that we cling to. And basically come back home. And then from this place called restraint, and it can be called other things depending on which gene key you're looking at. Just think of the gene keys as a piano. I don't know how many keys a piano has exactly. I'll look it up. Think of the gene keys as a piano, and each note has its beauty, right? And so what happens now is that this restraint enables the opening, the flow of the present moment to lift even more. And what this lifting even more is also a deepening even more is of the central heart of hearts, the essence of what is, what the I, the you, the I am, the consciousness. And the nature of consciousness can be described as stillness. The center of the cyclone, the singularity, peace, being, bliss, Sat, Chit, Ananda, all of the names of God, so to speak, right? Of the divine, of the universal intelligence. So this is very practical, pragmatic, simple, immediate, instantaneous way to integrate the stress and then transcend it, because this is the pathway of truth. The pathway of truth touches all things, emanates from all things, and lifts them into the awareness of the connectivity, the connection, the union of all things. So the more we sink and lower our vibrations and frequencies, the more our perspectives are going to be of the dissociation, of the alienation, of the fragmentation. And then the more we allow our frequency, our perspective to rise, the more we're going to see how all included all of this is into the one. And that is very, very helpful. And so the path isn't linear. It's not in the future. It's right now. That's why it's instantaneous. We don't need to wait for anything. We don't need to, run after anything. When what we're waiting for, and what we're I'm speaking to this particular context, of course, what we're waiting for and what we're running to is actually here, And so now as this becomes something that's like a blinding flash of the obvious, as this settles and you just expand and allow the stillness to breathe, you being the stillness, now you can decide and make choices and act and be moved to do what is required in order for more of this to come online. And this will, this goes through all of the cells of the physical body. It's inclusive of all of the atoms. It's something that is so connected at the fundamental level of what we call reality, where the distinctions of other, self and other, basically melt. They're melted. All there is this ocean of being. So this is really about being able to span and to bridge and to experience the beauty of having at once the experience of separation and the experience of oneness. And this is where awe happens, when we allow ourselves to rest in this stillness, like when you're watching a beautiful sunrise or a beautiful sunset or a moonrise or a moonset or anything else that brings you to this point of stillness where you connect to the seer and the seen are one. It's really that simple. So this 50-second gene key it's like a luminous bridge, a beacon. It's a beacon in the darkness, and it makes the darkness beautiful. Yeah, let's really reflect the light, that is reflected in the mind is the light of the heart. Let us be simply with this in the moment. And thank you so much for your beautiful, precious attention. And until next time, bye-bye.